The bamboo and the oak. In a tranquil valley, there stood two trees, an ancient oak and a young bamboo. They grew side by side, reaching for the sky in their own distinct ways. The oak, tall and mighty, had weathered countless storms over the years. Its branches spread wide, strong and unwavering, while its roots were deeply anchored in the earth, firm and unyielding. The bamboo, on the other hand, was slender and graceful, with tall, slender stalks that swayed gently in the wind. While it wasn't as tall or as imposing as the oak, it had a quiet elegance and flexibility that the oak admired from afar. One day, a great storm arrived in the valley. The sky darkened, and the wind howled with great force. The oak, with its thick trunk and wide branches, stood tall and proud, confident in its strength. It braced itself for the fierce wind, refusing to bend, determined to remain steadfast. The bamboo, however, bent low as the wind began to whip through the valley. Its slender stalk swayed with the breeze, bowing to its force but never breaking. It knew that if it remained flexible, it could endure the storm's rage. As the wind howled and the rain poured down, the oak's branches creaked under the strain. It stood firm, unwilling to give way. But the more it resisted, the more the storm pushed against it, and soon, a great crack sounded through the valley. A powerful gust of wind snapped one of the oak's branches, sending it crashing to the ground. The bamboo, meanwhile, continued to bend with the wind, leaning to and fro. It swayed gracefully, almost as if it were dancing with the storm. Despite the force of the tempest, it did not break. The bamboo bent, but it never snapped, and as the storm began to subside, the bamboo stood tall once more, its stalk steady in the calm air. When the storm finally passed and the valley grew quiet again, the oak, though still standing, was battered. Its once proud branches were now broken, and its trunk bore scars from the storm's fury. The bamboo, on the other hand, stood untouched, its slender stalk still intact, having bent and swayed with the wind. The oak, weary and wounded, looked at the bamboo and spoke with a voice tinged with humility. "I have always believed that strength lies in standing firm, in being unyielding like the mountains. But today, I have learned a valuable lesson. The storm was too great for me to withstand. I tried to resist, but in the end, it was you, the bamboo, that endured. Your flexibility and patience have taught me that sometimes, strength lies not in resisting, but in yielding." The bamboo, humble and wise, replied softly, "Dear oak, your strength is indeed great, but true strength comes not only from being firm. It is also found in knowing when to bend, when to yield, and when to trust that patience will help us through the storms of life. You are strong, but your rigidity made you vulnerable. I, too, have learned that patience is not just about being flexible, it is also about knowing when to stand firm in our own way." And so, from that day forward, the oak and the bamboo stood side by side, understanding the balance between strength and flexibility, patience and resilience. The oak learned that sometimes, patience and yielding are forms of strength, while the bamboo understood that flexibility, when grounded in inner strength, could weather even the fiercest storm. Moral: strength is not always about being rigid and unyielding. Sometimes, true strength comes from the ability to bend, to adapt, and to be patient. Like the bamboo, resilience is found in flexibility, and like the oak, true wisdom comes from understanding when to stand firm and when to yield. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.